They can't stop whispering about you. Every room, every circle, every conversation, it always seems to drift back to your name, not because you failed, but because your transformation is undeniable. The version of you that people thought they knew has vanished, and what stands here now is magnetic, radiant, undeniable truth. You've become the proof that alignment with your own soul is the most stunning kind of beauty. And that's why they're talking non-stop. They don't even have the right words, so they call it glow, they call it sex appeal, but heaven calls it accuracy. This isn't hype, this isn't luck. This is what happens when your inner world finally matches your outer world. Before we go deeper, I want to pause and invite you into this moment. If you feel a spark of recognition in what I'm saying, leave the number 77 in the comments. Let me see your resonance. Let me see your agreement. And if this message blesses you, remember you can support the channel with a simple click of the super thanks button. It means more than you know. Now, let's begin the journey, because what you're about to hear is not just a story about them being shocked. It's a mirror of your own awakening. So let's unfold the first layer, what happens when the old you disappears and the new you rises. The contrast is breathtaking. They remember the version of you who bent your shoulders just to fit into their frame. They remember the you who spoke in careful sentences, who wore compromise like a second skin. They remember the you who asked for permission to shine. But that version is gone. Now, your laugh comes from deeper in your chest. Your eyes no longer flinch when the room turns toward you. Your presence is no longer a request. It is a declaration. You didn't wake up thirsty for approval, you woke up true, and truth is magnetic. This is why the air shifts when you walk in. People who once dismissed you now can't take their eyes off you. The silence you carry feels styled, the confidence you wear feels effortless, and even your stillness feels like power. The old self was tolerated, but the new self is unforgettable. The past relied on your hesitation. The present thrives on your decision. That's why the voices around you sound so surprised. They keep repeating the same question, what happened to you? And the answer is simple, you chose to stop dimming. You chose coherence over confusion. You chose authenticity over apology. This is the sharp line between then and now. You no longer exist for their comfort. You exist for your calling. And that, my friend, is what they cannot stop talking about. Next, we'll explore the secret force that made this shift possible, the moment you rebuilt your boundaries and discovered real power. When you stopped apologizing for being radiant, the world had to adjust. For so long, your brilliance was dimmed to make others feel safe. You shrank, you softened, you silenced parts of yourself just to be tolerated. But something in you broke free. One day, without fanfare, you decided that your loyalty to other people's comfort would no longer outweigh your loyalty to your own soul. And in that instant, power returned. Boundaries became your compass. The first time you said, "That doesn't work for me," and didn't drown it in excuses, heaven smiled. That sentence was a key. And you noticed it, your voice felt steadier, your skin seemed brighter, your entire body recognized home again. Boundaries didn't make you harder, they made you coherent. And coherence is magnetic. Now people feel it in the way you walk into a room, in the way you take your time before answering, in the way you carry your presence like a birthright. Some call it arrogance, but deep down they know it's clarity, and clarity is irresistible. Let me ask you, have you had a moment recently where you finally said no without trembling? Share it in the comments. Your story may be the courage someone else is waiting for. Because this is the turning point, when you stop being loyal to the cage and start being faithful to your wings. And with your wings spread, it's no surprise that love and desire look completely different now. Let's talk about the new rules. Not every spark is devotion. That's the first rule. You've learned to tell the difference between adrenaline and intimacy, between urgency and alignment. The old flames may circle back, The new admirers may flood in, but your eyes are wiser now. You're not impressed by chaos dressed as passion. You're not seduced by noise pretending to be love. What captures you now is safety, a voice that can be quiet with you, not just loud about you, hands that carry their own life so they don't try to hold yours hostage, eyes that can meet yours without flinching, without turning intimacy into a dare. That is the kind of desire you recognize as real. The confusion that once pulled you back into toxic cycles no longer has a hold, because the right person won't ask you to bargain with your peace. The right love won't make you choose between your glow and your grounding. And if an old voice tries to whisper, "I miss what we had," you bless it and you keep your stride. You didn't heal to re-enroll in an old class. You didn't fight to become whole just to settle for fragments. This is a new curriculum where safety is sexy, honesty is magnetic, and respect is irresistible. So I want to hear from you. Do you believe safety is more attractive than intensity? Write your thoughts in the comments. Let's start a conversation that may shift how someone else sees their worth. Because when it comes to love and desire in this era, your standards are no longer negotiable. And just as love has been rewritten, so too has your purpose in work, money, and mission. That's where we go next. This era is not hype, it's harvest. All those whispers, all those side comments, all those endless conversations about you are nothing more than confirmation that you stepped into alignment. You didn't suddenly become lucky. You didn't suddenly become worthy. You simply agreed with the truth that was always inside of you. And now, every eye that turns toward you is not a curse, it is a sign that heaven noticed first, and now the world has no choice but to follow. You are not here to beg for a seat at their table. You are here to bless the room. You are here to walk like the ground was measured to your stride, to speak like your words can change the weather, to love like betrayal will never again be an option. This is your season of clarity. This is your season of coherence. This is your season of harvest. And I want you to seal it right now. If these words resonated, type the number 77 in the comments. Let your agreement echo across this community. Don't just listen, declare it. And while you're here, remember to like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and tap the bell so you never miss the messages that keep you steady on this journey. If you feel called to support this work in a deeper way, you can always click the super thanks. It helps me bring more of this truth to you and to others who need it. But above all, keep your pace, keep your peace, keep your promise to the version of yourself who once prayed for this exact moment. Because now it's here, and it's yours. Until next time, walk in your glow, speak in your truth, and never forget, this is your harvest season.